Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and or the thumbnail, this is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time in timely fashion, courtesy of the universe, through the language of synchronicity. This is a collective or general reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate. Take what works for you, keep the rest. Hi Stella, good morning. And this is also a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. Here we go. We're going to go with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. We have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords represents perhaps it's a good time for you to take a rest. Take a day off, basically is what it's saying, or sleep in or something. But this is actually saying that your mind has been very busy and you want to put it to rest. So this is someone that's looking to turn their mind off, basically. And the best way to do that is to meditate, go inward. And sorry, I apologize for my cat, Stella. Your tail's on the table. She's got happy feet. She's starting her job is to purr, but she has happy feet, and so she's getting into the zone, and she goes in circles a little bit. She loves the energy of the readings, and a cat's purr raises the vibration to a very high healing level. Did you know that a cat's purr can lower high blood pressure? So I figure you might not be able to hear her because I have a noise canceling mic on, but she's hard at it. She's got happy feet, so we're in good pause now. Here we have, so this is representing hanging your mind on the wall, basically. We have actually a subconscious mind, which is made up of our thoughts from the time we are born until we're about 5 or 6 years of age. And this energy, when you're a baby, you are like a sponge. You absorb your environment, and the thoughts that you have imprinted on you from about baby to about kindergarten are generally the thoughts of the people who are in charge of your care, as well as your environment. It's heavily imprinted on you because of because babies are always looking to learn something new, and so the subconscious mind is so heavily imprinted on us that when we get triggered, that's the mind that comes first out. That's the thoughts that come to us first and foremost. And those thoughts, really, when you think about it, they're not really your own, because you can't remember. Most people can't remember for sure when they're a baby. So the thoughts that you're relying on really are the thoughts of other people, not your own. So it's not the most reliable, but it's the one that pops up, especially when we are stressed out. And the unconscious mind is from the perspective of your soul. So a lot of people will say, yes, I'm a human being and I have a soul. Having said that, from your soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body, and this is your vehicle to navigate around Earth. If the soul's needs are not being met, the unconscious mind will get very loud and start arguing with the subconscious mind. And the conscious mind is the one that you are aware of. This is like totally your thoughts. This is your experiences. You have memory of it. You have the experience. So when the three of them are arguing, that's when you get in this energy where you need to put your mind to rest. The best way is going inward and meditating, and also praying to source energy to God. And we have someone, it looks like they're in a church or a building similar to that. They have laid their mind down to rest so that they can get into the zone. And then on the window here is the word Pax, P-A-X. And this is talking about peace of mind in this case. So you're looking for peace and peace of mind. And then we have, it's coming in fast. So something's coming in fast. Something's been launched, and it's on its way already. It's already been, this card reminds me of, this is the energy, the element is the element of fire. And the wands represent passion and something kind of like this is, in this case, they're coming in very quickly. And it reminds me of, you know, Sagittarius, the centaur that has the bow and arrow, and they are aiming with their bow and arrow for the target in the sky. And then boom, 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 they hit. It's kind of like that energy. So these are already traveling, and they represent action. So someone, if this is your reading, you have taken action on something, or some action is coming towards you from someone else. And then we have temperance. So temperance is being in your element on planet Earth. Basically, a lot of people feel that in the Bible it says that God sends 144,000 angels down to Earth, and quite often people feel that this is the angel's card, the Earth angel. And so this angel has their foot in the universal pool of water, and they're adding their own alchemy to the mix here, and then pouring that into the water. And while they have their left foot grounded on earth, and you notice where they have their left foot grounded, there's already beautiful flowers growing. So this is talking about staying on your path of glory and being at the highest vibration that you can possibly be. I kind of think that maybe sometimes the Earth Angel concept is we all have the potential to be that. And, you know, if we keep raising our vibration, we get to a certain point where then we become what we, you know, we're at our highest potential, and that was gifted to us by God. And then we have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is representing, again, someone who's really been overthinking and sort of stuck. So this is talking about being in a mental prison. There's 7 swords behind her, and then there's 1 in front. And you see this water here. In the tarot, the water represents emotion. And I feel like she's there. I feel like there was a lot of water here to begin with. It might have even been the tears she's crying. This person feels bound, duty bound. And so sometimes this can represent an energy of you kind of know what you have to do, but you don't want to have to do it because it involves people you love, and you just don't want to take that action. But I feel like whether you want to or not, the universe is making sure this action is taken. We have 8 actions and 8 swords here, and we have the Earth Angel in between. So something's going on here. And you know, maybe after meditating and going and quieting your mind, then you can feel with your heart. So if your 3 minds are working together and they're congruent with each other, you can plug them into your heart energy, and then you will be actually following your authentic desires. And I feel that that's what this person needs to do, and they're slowly getting there because these 7 swords are behind them. And I feel that there was, you know, they've got 1 foot forward on dry land, the right foot, which is about taking action. And then they have the left foot is still stuck in a puddle. Now this puddle is shallow, and that's not saying your emotions are shallow, but what it's saying is there's less water than there used to be here, less emotion. So I feel like these 7 thoughts are behind you, and you have found resolution in your mind with those ones. You just have this one left, and I feel this is the one that you are going to take action with. It's kind of representing this energy. Now that you have resolved these 7, the one that's left is now launched. That's how I'm reading it. And the person is blindfolded because they don't want to see. They don't want to have to see what they have to do. That in this case, that's what it feels like. And this energy is very conflicted in the mind. Between the mind and the heart energy is what I feel it is. And so sometimes these swords can also represent the thoughts of others behind your back. So it could be that kind of energy, or both as well. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles. So the 9 of Pentacles is a lot of coins and a lot of pentacles. Now the pentacles actually represent health, wealth, and happiness in the tarot, in the 3rd dimensional world. Having said that, you know, money is a big part of, you know, the 3D. We need money to be able to get what we want. But you could have all the money in the world and not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So the pentacles are about lifestyle more than they are just about money, although they are represented by the coin. And this Nine of Pentacles is one away from the ultimate that you can have. So this is a lot of money. This is generational wealth. This is, you know, a legacy that you could hand down to your children and your children's children. And we have pre-Empress energy here. The pre-Empress energy is just indicating that this person has been through a lot. And maybe that's what all of this, you know, represents. Like the overthinking, because whatever has happened has taken a lot to consider before taking action. And this could represent over, you know, years, you know, depending on what it is. And then this energy, the 6 coins here and the 3 here, they add up to 9. And if you ever have heard of Nikola Tesla would talk about, if you knew the beauty of the 3, 6, 9, then you would have the key to the universe. And this energy of the pre-Empress energy is showing that she has that foresight. The falcon represents, like, she's been there, done that. She has the t-shirt. She has seen it all, basically. And so there are 4 queens in the minor arcana. And this is saying that you're close to having all the qualities of the 4 queens in the minor arcana wrapped into one person. So you're almost at the Empress energy. The Empress is represented in the major arcana. So this is like having been through a lot of life experiences and hardships to be able to get to this point, and also some beautiful energy as well. So this is talking about this ratio of the 3, 6, 9 that Nikola Tesla talks about. She's learned that she has to look after herself first and foremost. You know, when you're on an airplane, they'll say to you, if the oxygen masks drop, even if you have a baby next to you, put yours on first. And that's because if you put the mask on the baby and then you faint, the baby's not going to be able to help you, and then the baby will be helpless. And so you need to put your mask on first, and then and look after the baby. And the mother's instinct is going to be the baby needs oxygen. Make sure you get it. This is really important. So this is talking about that ratio. She has her hand on 6 pentacles. And these 6 pentacles, she knows this is what I need to pay my bills and to make sure my house is running smoothly, my businesses are running smoothly, everything's paid, and I have a little extra here in case, you know, an appliance breaks down or something like that, or the car needs repairs. Then we have these 3 here that are extra. And so she might consider using one to make investments that are more risky, and then maybe another for charity, and this one might be I'm saving for a holiday for the family kind of energy. So she keeps this ratio in mind because she knows that if she doesn't, and she gives away too much of herself, her time, her money, and her energy, she won't have what she needs to be able to keep herself going, and then she'll fail everybody, basically. And so this is talking about, there's a saying, you're the sum of your environment. So it's saying make sure you keep your home environment as clean as you can, as organized as you can, so it supports your business life, and vice versa. This is talking also about expressing gratitude for what you do have and looking after it properly. Yes, and this is talking about, once you have the 6 pentacles, that's when you start being able to give to others. And this is about learning that discernment of the give and take. How much are you going to invest of yourself, your time, your money, and your energy? Who are you going to invest in? How much are you going to invest? And what do you anticipate the return is going to be? Is it a fair exchange of energy? And so that's this person is giving coins to this person who's begging for money. But this one, he has the scales of justice hanging over this one's head. And that's because if you look closely, this person has something in his pocket already. So why would I give my money to someone who already has what they need to move forward, and they're just, acting like they don't? And so it's learning that discernment. Where do you draw the line? What are you willing to, how much of yourself are you willing to give to any given situation? And there's, spiritual people have a tendency to use, instead of saying give and take, they'll say give and receive. And I find that sometimes that energy can be kind of misleading, because the universe doesn't just give away shift to people. Here, receive this gift and take it from someone else. I think you deserve it more than them. You've been meditating more and oming and whatever you've been doing. This energy is, it is take. You're giving and you're taking, but it would be like if you went to work for a month, and then at the end of the month, you don't receive a paycheck, and you say to your boss, like, where's my paycheck? And they say, well, there was someone walked by and, they had flowers in their hair and they were so sweet. We just thought, we'll give them your paycheck for this month, and you just, you'll make do. You're doing well. You'll make by, and you're like, what? That's how the universe works also. So the universe doesn't just gift someone else's shift to someone else. So it is give and take. You are taking what you deserve for the time and the money and the energy that you've poured into whatever you're working on. And you deserve to be paid and compensated well for your good work. And so keep that in mind. It's if you've been working hard at something and you get the reward from it, it's because you deserve it, and be proud of that. We have this energy of the wanting to move off from rough waters into like calmer waters. And so the rough water here in tarot represents chaos, volatile emotions, mixed emotions, and the calm water represents when you go get that inner peace. And this is the conveyor is taking you to be with God in this case. And this is again letting go of this overthinking things. And it feels like the overthinking is stopping you from reaching your potential at this time. And maybe it's a habit that you've gotten into, and this can be from your childhood. So the adult with the child in the boat sometimes can represent that you need to work on something that happened, when you were a child, and your subconscious mind keeps bringing it up. And that's because it's not healed. And so this is about going into meditation and healing this so that you quiet the mind. And then, you see the person here, she can't see anything, or they can't see anything because these swords are in the way, but because of the overthinking. So that's, I feel like this is a habit that you've gotten into. And I feel like it's just coming up that you're putting other people's needs before your own, which maybe when you were a child, I'm just picking up this energy of, latchkey child, someone who comes home and the parents are at work, and then you've got younger siblings, and maybe you're the oldest and you're the one who has to be responsible for everything. That's the energy that I'm getting, like having to grow up early in life and kind of behave like an adult instead of a child. There's judgment being called here. So judgment is talking about, the judgment of coming down from the Most High, and it starts in the spiritual realm and then it comes down to earth. So this is talking about a situation needs to change, and even sometimes this can be your ancestors, even on the other side, didn't resolve something from before they went cross the veil, and it's bothering them. And so that sometimes when that's happening, we'll end up, because of karma, we'll end up having to resolve it for them, basically. And that's why they're cheering, because this might be something that happened something that's bothering you has been happening down your family bloodline for generation after generation, and you are the one who is changing that. And so they're excited. They're like, yes. They're so proud of you because you're doing the inner work here so that you can break the cycle. So this is really, really good. This can represent like addictions or just ways of being that are not productive, and they're passed down from one generation to another. And quite often one of those would be anger. If you've got, your grandparents are angry and they raise, they're angry the whole time that they're raising your parents. then your parents learn to be angry, and then they do that to you, and then you're angry. Anger is the gift that keeps on giving, and it's not fun. So it can be, you know, that type of energy. And we have rebel with a cause. So the Knight of Wands is coming in here, and the Knight of Wands represents like a lot of fiery energy. This is the energy. He's got a big red plume on his helmet here. This is talking about, like, he knows he's a hothead, but he's learned to rein his emotions in so that he doesn't do impulsive things that, you know, cause a lot of problems. And this is that could be that anger energy that I was just talking about. And this is a really someone who really likes to get shift done and really ambitious and a really good person, but they have this underlying anger all the time, and that's their worst enemy, because if they get impulsive and they get into that energy, they do things that then cause problems. And I feel that's the energy that's coming in here that needs to be resolved, and you're doing it with the family. So this could embody your energy here. And because this is very much the Sagittarius energy as well. This is also the energy of the fiery horse energy that we're in 2026 from the Chinese New Year. So this is about loving adventure and you know, loving the knowledge from exploring the mysteries of the world, traveling, meeting new cultures, really cheerful, like optimistic energy. And the knights would, you know, travel far and wide to give communication for the king and queen. And so they'd have to, you know, back then they didn't have long distance. That was their form of long distance communication. But these days, this information or this communication could be coming in person. It could be, but not probably likely by horse. And the energy would be more like, you know, a phone call, a text message. Maybe you get a letter in the mail or an email. You might be on social media, get a message. You might see an event posted on social media and go to the event, and then you meet someone in person. Also, the news at the top of the pyramid is really, it's good to know even just 5 minutes a day. Find out what's going on with the leaders at the top of the world, because for sure, whatever is going on with them is trickling down to everybody below. And so it's good to stay on top of that so you can kind of understand, like, where is this anger coming from? Like, is this about me, or is it an external force? All right, and then we have God is saying, hey, you need a lover. And one you're passionate about, and maybe that's what's being launched here for you, is like you have the pentacles now, and you've learned the discernment, and you've quieted your mind down enough, and you're opening your heart up. So this is beautiful energy. This is talking about allowing yourself to feel passionate about life. And almost like getting into, like, letting go of whatever that was in your childhood. This is really good work. This is like you've faced your shadow side, done the work. Congratulations. This is like things are now opening up for you, because this is kind of like a bad habit to overthink everything. And now it's opened your heart up, and God is shining. God, the sun represents God's energy, and saying, okay, now you're on your path. Now things are going to fall into place for you. And one of those things is going to be someone that you can count on, that will make, that you can share all the benefits of all your hard work with. That's pretty cool. Yeah, someone has their eye on you. So this is talking about the Page of Cups is a younger version of the Knight. They would work from about 7 to 14 years of age, and come from the surrounding families that were, like, you know, well-educated, upper-class families. And they would apprentice, like, in working for the court. And their main job would be to deliver messages. And as I said before, that could be an energy of all the different communication forms. And this could actually represent also online dating, possibly. This page is focused on the cup, and in tarot, cups generally mean romantic love first and foremost, or it can be just love of anyone in your, you know, in your family, friends, you know, your pets. It's love of someone or something, and then it can also be love of something you love to do or be. But in this case, I feel this is romantic love, because it's sitting right on the lovers and passion. And so this is awesome. This is saying that someone has their eye on you. This page, he understands that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he is focused on this fish. And so, yeah, someone is interested in maybe asking you out, or maybe you are interested in asking someone out. And so this is talking about, I feel like, the passion being launched. You healed something that was holding you back, I feel, in your heart. And this can, if it's not about romantic love, this could just be like, I've always wanted to do this, and you sign up for a class. Years ago, I wanted to learn how to belly dance, but I'd always hang up the phone when, and just before, I just, and then when I finally did, I was like, yay, I answered the call, when she called me back. And I loved belly dancing, but it was just something that was far out of my, I just couldn't see my, like, whoa, I don't know if that's for me kind of energy. And I had a lot of fun with it, a lot of fun, for years, just meeting a lot of friends and, just doing my best to be the best dancer I could be. It was good. And I was glad that I answered the call. And that's kind of how life is. Like, sometimes we have something in the back of our mind we always wanted to do. That could be, yay, it's finally being launched. Something maybe that you thought about when you were a child. And so this could be, at one point I thought, oh, you know what? I would really like to publish a book. And I did. And at first when I started, and when it launched, I would only be doing like 15 minutes a day. And before you know it, I committed to that. And before I knew it, I was, all of a sudden, it'd be a half an hour would go by and I'd be like, whoa, like, and then, eventually I was doing like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day because I was right into it. And so just, if you make that small commitment of 15 minutes to do something that you have always wanted to do, and even if if it's writing a book, even if you're sitting there and you write one word, you did it. It's about the commitment of applying yourself to it. So I feel like that's the kind of energy we have here, as well as, and it could be both, romantic love and a love of something you want to do with someone that you love. And so judgment's being called. You have succeeded in healing this generational curse. And I feel like it might have to do with anger. We can look into that in a bit here. But this is a passion for life again and moving forward. And I feel this is passionate love with a lover. And it's because you've learned the give and take of the universe, and you expect to have payment, but you don't anticipate how that payment's going to come in when it comes from or you anticipate it, but you let go of the expectations of, oh, it has to be a certain way. If I have a lover come in, he has to be this way or that way, or I'm not even going to even take a look at it, that kind of energy. So this is learning about that give and take and getting to, oh, sorry, my cat's all a little worked up here. Calm down now. You knocked the camera. All right, so this has been kind of this is a really good reading. It's like a breath of fresh air coming through here. And we have, now I'm going to clarify for those of you who want clarification. If you're good here and you're like, no, I don't need any more information, I'm happy to hear this. It's a good reading. So congratulations, and give it a like and comment if you enjoyed it. For those of you who want further clarification, here we go with my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, TAILS. I started this back in 2007, and I completed 64 paintings by 2020. And now I'm working on getting the actual deck done, and I'm working on the information that goes with it. I have a lot written down, but I haven't had the time to really work, and that's what I'm working on now, is building my channel and making that a priority, and getting the information to see how the cards work in action. And then I'll put it out there when I feel it's ready. You can, in the description box below, the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order that they are in my gallery on my website. I'll put them in the order they appear here, so you'll know which paintings to look up. And here we go. So there's a major transition happening. This is saying when you learn to put your mind to rest. And so it's kind of like a habit that you're breaking of always overthinking things. You don't want to have a board meeting with yourself every time you make a decision. It slows things down. So you want to make sure if it's like something important in finances or whatever, that you do your research. But you don't want to be like, once you make that decision, should I or shouldn't I, for days and days. You want to just act upon it once you've done the research, etc. So this is talking about falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So this is talking, like getting your shift together draws that energy in to find someone that also attracts someone that also wants to has their shift together. We have the Pisces energy. So Pisces is the senior executive of the horoscope. It's the very last card. And this is talking about, Pisces is the most mature of the water signs. So it's about learning to bring that emotion, to be able to have good control of your emotions and, use your sensitivity to, like, a lot of times Pisces people are told, oh, you're just too sensitive. But it's about using that sensitivity to be able to feel what it is you really want and have faith in that, like trust that's, trusting your intuition. Pisces energy is highly intuitive. And so I just want to point out, when the horoscope signs come up in my general or collective readings, I'm not talking about a specific person. I'm talking about the energy of each of the signs. We all have a little bit of each sign in us, in our birth chart somewhere, or most of them. And so we can learn from them. And that's what I want to do in my readings is, okay, this is about that. Really learning to use your intuition and feel with that sensitivity that you were gifted with. But also being able to make decisions and not have to like sit there and overthink, once you've made them. We have temptation coming in. So the devil energy is coming in. This is talking about in between this overthinking. And so when the devil energy comes in, this is temptation. In my oracle, the devil energy is a beautiful dragonfly adorned in a Swarovski crystals, and it's a hot pink background. The devil's not going to tempt you with something ugly. The devil's going to tempt you with something really beautiful and shiny, something that you really want. And maybe I feel like in this case, like wanting it so much that, wanting it badly. I want that so badly. People will say that. And it's like, well, maybe you're not getting it because you're doing it in a badly way. So whenever the devil energy comes up, you're not going to get the truth from this energy. So I like to cover it. What's the next card up? What's this about? What minion does the devil send in to do his dirty work, or does God stop it? And we have a scotoma. So a scotoma is when you have a blind spot and there's just something you just can't see. And I feel like this is talking about this childhood block that you can't see. And so it causes you maybe in the past, you've lost your temper and said things to people or whatever that you wish you hadn't after. That's the energy I'm picking up. So, and it's ruined relationships for you. And so this energy is, now that you know what it is and you've healed it, your life is going to improve so much. You won't believe how much better it is. That's the energy I'm getting. And the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason. So if that's happened with you, you have to, work on that. And every time that you control that, like the Knight of Wands, it opens your heart up more and more to what you really want. It's a beautiful energy. Congratulations on the work you did on that. And yeah, I was just going to say, quite often, that kind of energy comes from the need to be right. So a lot of times, we need to be right about something. Yes, if we're making an investment or we're choosing a partner that we're going to live with for the rest of our lives. But to go on a date, you need to know that, okay, this person is who they say they're going to be. And if you're not sure, it's the first date and you're online dating, make sure you go somewhere public and you don't give them your address, that kind of energy. Check them out. And so this, though, is talking about when you know that you had a part in the reason why things didn't work out, but you don't want to see it. So you just say, oh, you know, it was all their fault and they did this and they did that. That need to be right can really stop you from getting what you want in life. And then we also have the Cancer energy, which is talking about feeling. And this is like the baby of the water energy. So this is talking about learning. You know, if you think about adolescent girls, that's kind of the stage of life of this sign, emotionally, very emotional. You know, you think about young girls that are about to begin their cycle, and, you know, they aren't very good with those hormones yet. If you've ever been at that age, or you have raised daughters, you understand right away what I'm talking about. One, you know, like just feeling everything so intensely. And so you can take that feeling so that you can use it to be able to tune into your intuition and use it in a strong way. And then we have the dissemination of information. So yeah, sometimes there'll be an elephant in the room and you're like, elephant? What elephant? I don't want to see it. And that's this need to be right. So I feel that you've really worked on this, and maybe this is something that's in your family that, you know, has been something that you all have had to learn about. This is indifference, is a karmic space that we can fall into with the need to be right. When we need to be right, then we become indifferent to the needs of others to also be right. So we're all work together in progress. And I feel that you healing this generational curse of relying on anger is really in your family line, is going to really be powerful for when maybe you and this new lover really do hit it off, because the sun is shining on it, and you end up getting married and starting a family. You're going to be the first one in your family that really is conscious of this energy and making sure that your children are raised with love and not with anger. Really, really positive energy. Love this reading. I do hope you've enjoyed it as well. Give it a like and comment, and I really appreciate that because it helps me build my channel. And I will be back with another reading about random shift. Give this, you know, consider subscribing if you resonate. You're more than welcome, and I would be honored. Bye for now.